There's a creature on this planet that has survived every mass extinction event in the last 430 million years. It was here before the dinosaurs, before the first trees, before anything with a backbone crawled onto land. And it's still here, living under the rock in your backyard. This is every type of scorpion on Earth, and what makes each one a masterpiece of survival. The first thing you need to understand about scorpions is that they are not insects. They're arachnids, more closely related to spiders, and ticks than to any bug, and they belong to one of the oldest lineages of land-dwelling animals ever recorded. There are over 2,500 known species, spread across every continent except Antarctica, and they occupy deserts, rainforests, caves, mountains, and coastlines. Some are smaller than a fingernail, others are longer than your forearm, and a handful of them carry venom potent enough to kill a healthy adult human in under 6 hours. But here's what most people never realize. Out of those 2,500 species, only about 25 are considered medically dangerous to humans. That's less than 1%. The vast majority of scorpions are completely harmless to us, and yet every single one of them is an apex predator in its own miniature world. Let's start with the one everybody fears the most, the Deathstalker. Its scientific name is Leiurus quinquestriatus, but nobody calls it that because Deathstalker is far more honest. This scorpion lives across North Africa and the Middle East, barely reaches 10 centimeters in length, and has a pale yellow color that makes it almost invisible against desert sand. It looks fragile. It looks like nothing. And that's exactly the problem because the Deathstalker carries one of the most potent neurotoxic venoms in the entire scorpion family. Its sting attacks the nervous system directly, causing extreme pain, convulsions, fluid in the lungs, and in severe cases, cardiac failure. But even this scorpion has a twist that makes it more fascinating than frightening. Scientists have discovered that a specific peptide in the Deathstalker's venom, called chlorotoxin, can bind to cancer cells with extraordinary precision. Researchers are now using it to develop tumor-targeting technology that could help surgeons identify cancer cells during brain operations. The deadliest scorpion on the planet might end up saving more lives than it has ever threatened. Now let's go in the complete opposite direction, in terms of size, because if the Deathstalker is the assassin, the Emperor Scorpion is the tank. Pandinus imperator, native to the tropical forests of West Africa, is one of the largest scorpions alive. It can reach over 20 centimeters in length. It's jet black, and it looks absolutely terrifying. But its venom is remarkably mild. An Emperor Scorpion sting feels roughly like a bee sting. It relies on its massive pincers rather than its venom to subdue prey, crushing insects, small invertebrates, and occasionally small vertebrates with pure mechanical force. This is a scorpion that chose armor and strength over chemistry, and it works. Emperor scorpions are also one of the few scorpion species that display social behavior. They live in small colonies, share burrows, and mothers carry their young on their backs for weeks after birth, protecting them until their exoskeletons harden enough to face the world alone. A giant armored predator that is also a devoted parent. That's not what most people picture when they hear the word scorpion. And while the Emperor chose brute strength, the Arizona bark scorpion chose the opposite strategy entirely. Centroroides sculpturatus is small, light brown, barely 8 centimeters long, and it's the most venomous scorpion in North America. It lives across the Sonoran Desert and throughout the American Southwest, and unlike most scorpions that stay on the ground, the bark scorpion climbs. It climbs walls, trees, rocks, and ceilings. People find them inside their homes, hanging upside down from door frames and kitchen cabinets. Its venom delivers an intense burning pain, followed by numbness, tingling, and in children or elderly individuals, potentially life-threatening neurological symptoms. But what makes the bark scorpion truly remarkable from a biological standpoint is its ability to survive extreme dehydration. Researchers have frozen bark scorpions solid overnight and watched them thaw out the next morning and walk away as if nothing happened. This species can slow its metabolism to almost zero, surviving on a single insect meal for an entire year. It doesn't just live in the desert, it has become the desert. Now from the driest environment on Earth to the wettest, because not all scorpions live in sand and heat. The red claw scorpion, Pandinus cavamanus, thrives in the humid forests of Tanzania and surrounding regions. It burrows into moist soil beneath rotting logs and leaf litter, hunting at night in near total darkness. Its body is dark brown to black with striking reddish-orange claws that give it its name, and like its cousin the Emperor, it relies more on pincer strength than venom. But what's fascinating about forest-dwelling scorpions is how they challenge the stereotype. Most people associate scorpions exclusively with deserts, but some of the most diverse scorpion populations on Earth live in tropical rainforests. The humidity, the abundance of prey, and the complex terrain of the forest floor create the perfect conditions for scorpions that have adapted to moisture rather than drought. The red claw proves that scorpions are not desert specialists. They're survival specialists, and they'll adapt to whatever environment gives them an edge. And then there's the one that breaks every rule you thought you knew, the pseudoscorpion. Technically, these are not true scorpions. They're a separate order called Pseudoscorpiones, but they deserve a mention because they look exactly like scorpions that someone shrunk in a laboratory. They measure between 2 and 8 millimeters. They have pincers, but no tail, no stinger, and absolutely no venom delivery system. They live in leaf litter, old books, barn dust, and crevices in tree bark. There are over 3,300 species of pseudoscorpions worldwide, and most people go their entire lives without ever seeing one, despite the fact that there are probably hundreds living within meters of where you're sitting right now. They eat mites, tiny insects, and larvae, and they produce silk from glands in their pincers to build small cocoons for molting and brooding. They are tiny, silent, completely harmless, and they've been doing their job for over 380 million years without asking for any attention whatsoever. Now, let's talk about the giants of the past, because the scorpions alive today are modest compared to what once existed. During the Carboniferous period, roughly 350 million years ago, Earth's atmosphere had significantly higher oxygen levels than today, and that oxygen fueled the growth of arthropods to sizes that seem impossible by modern standards. Pulmonoscorpius, commonly known as the breathing scorpion, reached lengths of up to 70 centimeters. That's a scorpion the size of a medium dog. It roamed the swampy forests of what is now Scotland, hunting amphibians, insects, and anything else it could overpower. And even further back, during the Silurian period over 430 million years ago, Brontoscorpio reached similar sizes and is considered one of the earliest arachnids to transition from aquatic to terrestrial life. These ancient scorpions were among the very first predators to walk on land. Before any reptile, before any mammal, before any dinosaur, scorpions were already hunting on solid ground. They didn't inherit the earth. They were here first. And understanding the ancient ones helps explain why modern scorpions are built the way they are. Every species we've talked about today carries features that trace back hundreds of millions of years. The basic body plan, pincers at the front, 4 pairs of walking legs, a segmented tail with a venom-tipped stinger, has barely changed since the Silurian. That's not because evolution forgot about scorpions. It's because the design worked so well that there was almost nothing to improve. Scorpions also share one of the most visually striking traits in the animal kingdom. They glow under ultraviolet light. Every single scorpion species fluoresces a bright blue-green when exposed to UV, and scientists still don't fully understand why. Some theories suggest it helps them detect moonlight and avoid exposure during bright nights. Others think it may be a byproduct of their exoskeleton chemistry with no adaptive purpose at all. Whatever the reason, a creature that predates the dinosaurs by 200 million years also happens to glow in the dark, and nobody can fully explain it. That feels fitting somehow. There's also one more species worth knowing about, and it's one that sits at the intersection of fear and fascination perhaps more than any other. The Indian red scorpion, Hottentotta tamulus, is considered by many toxicologists to be the most dangerous scorpion in the world in terms of human fatalities. It lives across India, Pakistan, and parts of Nepal, often in rural areas where access to medical treatment is limited. Its venom causes severe pulmonary edema, flooding the lungs with fluid. And without antivenom, the mortality rate in children can exceed 30%. And yet, like the Deathstalker, research into its venom has revealed compounds with potential pharmaceutical applications, including antimicrobial peptides that could help fight antibiotic-resistant bacteria. The same molecule that can kill is also a molecule that might cure. Every scorpion we've covered today, from the Deathstalker to the Emperor, From the bark scorpion to the ancient giants that walked the earth before anything else dared to, they all share one thing. They survived. Ice ages, asteroid impacts, volcanic extinction events, continental shifts, and 430 million years of relentless competition. And they're still here, still hunting, still glowing under the stars for reasons no one fully understands. If any creature on this planet has earned the right to be called a survivor, it's the scorpion. And if these ancient hunters change the way you see the world beneath your feet, even just a little, then stay close, because this planet has been writing stories like these for billions of years, and we've barely turned the first page. I'll see you in the next one.